So today we're going to continue on with our linear equations. Remember, we need two things to write it in slope-intercept form. We need to know the slope, and we need to know the y-intercept. So if we're given 2 points and the y-intercept, we can use the slope formula to write a linear equation in slope-intercept form. And remember, our slope formula is the change in y over the change in x. So I'm going to name which one's my x1, y1, and x2, y2. So we know that it's the change in y, so our y2 is 2, and we are going to subtract our y1, which is a negative 1. And then our x2 is 6, minus our x1 is negative 3. So our numerator, remember, if we subtract a negative, it changes to addition. So we have 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 on the numerator, and the denominator we have 6 plus 3, which is equal to 9. So our slope is equal to 1/3. So to write it in slope-intercept form, we are going to have y equals mx plus b. M again is our slope, and our intercept is already given to us as 0. So to write this, it would be y is equal to 1/3 x plus 0, or you could leave it as y is equal to 1/3 x. For our second example, we have the 2 points 2, 9 and 4, 19. Again, I am going to write the slope formula so that we have it written in front of us. And I'm going to name which coordinates is my first one and which ones are my second one. So my x1 is 2, y1 is 9, x2 is 4, and y2 is 19. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it into our formula. So I have on the numerator 19 minus 9, and on our denominator we have 4 minus 2. Now 19 minus 9 is equal to 10, and 4 minus 2 is equal to 2, so our slope is 10 over 2, which reduces to 5. Now when I write it in our slope-intercept form, it's y equals mx plus b, and I can replace our slope and our y-intercept. So when I rewrite our formula, it is y is equal to 5x plus b. And since our b is negative 1, we have y is equal to 5x minus 1. Now we're going to move on to linear equation word problems. So, steps to writing and figuring them out is first, read the problem, then we're going to identify what we're being asked to find, highlight important information, determine what the x value is, it's always going to be the starting point, and determine what the slope would be. It's something that is repeated. So, while visiting Florida, Jace Murray decided to go kayaking. The renting company charges $8.50 per hour in addition to $25 deposit to rent the kayak. If she rented the kayak from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., write and solve a linear equation to find the total cost to rent the kayak. So I already highlighted our important information. So we know that it charges $8.50 per hour and a deposit of $25, and we know how much time she's spending there. And we know that we want to write and solve a linear equation to find the total cost to rent the kayak. So our linear equation will be in the form of y equals mx plus b. So our starting point is going to be our deposit. So our y-intercept is going to be $25. So I'm going ahead and fill that in. And then if we look, it says they charge $8.50 per hour. So that would be repeated for each hour we have. So that is our slope. So I'll put 8.5 in for our slope. So that would be the linear equation, but it also asks us to find the total cost to rent the kayak. So since Jace Mary rented it from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., that is a total of 3 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in 3 for x. So we have y is equal to 8.5 times 3 plus 25. Now when we simplify this, 8.5 times 3 is equal to 25.5. And we still have to add the 25. So our final answer would be 50.5. So to find the total cost to rent the kayak for those 3 hours, it would cost Jay's Mary $50.50. So now if we go on and look at our second example, it says that Jonathan bought a new truck for $42,935. According to the dealer, the truck will depreciate approximately $4,200 per year, and it's asking us to write and solve a linear equation to find how many years until the truck is worth $5,135. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight some important information: how much the truck originally cost, its depreciation value per year, and then I underlined what it is asking. So it wants us to write and solve a linear equation. So first let's create our linear equation in y equals mx plus b. After reading the problem, we know that our starting point is the cost of the new truck, which is $42,935. So that will be our y-intercept. And we have a slope of negative $4,000 $4,200. Now it is minus because it says it depreciates, which means it loses its value. So we are subtracting that for each year. So when I write it in slope-intercept form, we'd have y is equal to negative 4,200x plus 42,935. Now it is asking us to find how many years until the truck is worth $5,135. So that is now going to be our y, and we are solving for x because it's asking us how many years. And in our problem, x is years. So this is a multi-step equation. So first we want to subtract $42,935 from each side. When we simplify, on the left-hand side, we are left with negative 37,800. And it is equal to negative 4,200x. Now we want to divide by negative 4,200 to get x by itself. And when we do that, we find out that x is equal to 9. So it would take 9 years until the truck is worth $5,135.